copy before I do a major toolbar here. Back to you, Chuck. All I can say is good morning, and it's the sun's arising, I hope. W7MS.
Man, already this morning, but you got a great signal, and it's good that Trevor's back in town. That's always a good thing, and catching up on his sleep and all, and hope Emily's doing as good as well. So far so good with everybody. I hope these conditions stay like they are. Let me see if there's anybody else that wants to check in and be number 5. Venice Military Radio Net. You can come now. Okay, nothing heard. It is just a little bit early, but you know, we got enough to get the net started. If you want to be number 5, this will be the last call for early check-ins, and I guess I'll go ahead and start the net. We have enough folks to do it, so we'll go ahead and see if there's anybody else out there. If you want to be number 5, you can check in now, or if not, I'll start the net and I'll catch you on the tail end of the first round. So is there a number 5 out there for Venice Military Radio Net? Okay, nothing heard. So we'll go ahead and get started this morning. Good morning again. This is Venice Military Radio Net. This is K0DWC. Chuck, and I'll be in net control this morning, and we'll be on 3.974 megacycles. Venice Military Radio Net's a round-table AM net that provides an opportunity for licensed hands to operate their military radio gear on the air. Gear is encouraged, but certainly not a requirement, and check-ins will be given a number that can be used in the handoff. And I'll call for check-ins at the end of each round-table session. If anyone has anything for sale or want, please mention it during your turn in a round-table session. So, the order as I have it, by who I've heard, excuse me. Number 1 spot is Bill, M6 Bravo Charlie Tango. In the 2 spot is Dave, W6MQI. In the 3 spot is Steve, W6SSP. In the 4 spot is Mike, W7MS. And let's see if there's a 5, and then I'll go back up to the top. So number 5 out there, come now. Good morning. Well, good morning, Mr. Ron. You have a very nice signal in here this morning. All right, Ron, I've got you in the number 5 spot, sir. Is there a number 6 out there? Come now. Okay, nothing heard. So we'll catch any stragglers here at the end of the first round. Well, anyway, we're running the regular net control station this morning, ART13, 200 watts, and listening on the R45 ARR7, speaking to a K0DWC military desk mic with the electret module in it. And running right around 200 watts, plus, I don't know, maybe 210, somewhere in there. The watt meter, I don't trust it. I know it'll get you close, but I don't know about accuracy. But anyway, we're in here this morning, running through an inverter key. I got to turn the L388 on with the loop and use it as a backup. I haven't done that yet, but anyway, that's our rundown here, listening through an LS3 speaker, cheating with the LS3 speaker. So that's my rundown. So with that, we'll go up to the top, and like I said, I'll pick up anybody here. We got 5 people. I'll pick up anybody here at the tail end. M6 Bravo Charlie Tango, Bill, go ahead and take it. It's all yours. Bravo, Tango, General, W6MQA, W6SSP, W7F, and ESS. Guys, I got you all in the world. Here's myself. Anyway, so it was on the scale thing. SC100D, which is 20 watts in high speed radio and SSC, but in OM it's only 25 watts per level. And so that's the story here. That's what I've got. I did get my blood pressure test this morning, which is an unusual thing, and it was okay. And I always have a wrist thing that I use to measure my blood pressure, it's 126 over 74, something like that. Anyway, so it's over to the W6M0, Bravo, Charlie, Tango.
Alright, 16BCT, W6MQI. Alrighty, Bill. And here you find on your Yasu rig this morning that all stations are sounding good as well. Morning to Chuck, Bill, Steve, Mike, and Ron. And appears that Henry's missing in action. I'm sure he'll show up. But we're on the ART-13 as well this morning, same as Chuck. Running a D104, listening on a 7584 receiver. To an inverted V, all the usual stuff. And 42 degrees. And yeah, it's been a little cool here, a little overcast. It's been kind of nice to work outside with this weather. I've been working on the deck outside, and it's been, I don't know, I'd rather have that than stifling hot to work in anyway. I don't mind the hot weather, just I don't like working in it. So anyway, over to Steve, W6SSP, W6MQI.
Okay, Dave, W6MQI, W6SSP. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, it's a crisp morning here, but again, overcast. It's just not, the temperatures have been pretty seasonable. It's upper 30s, I guess, at night, and into the upper 50s during the day, which is kind of normal, but what's not normal is the amount of fog we've had this past week. It's kind of miserable. So anyway, I want, let's see, the equipment is the usual Collins 75A1 receiver and matching 32V1 transmitter, 85 watts out into a dipole, and unamplified D104 microphone. And I wanted to give a shout out to N9AMI. He responded to my request last week of information for a Tempo 2020. And not only did he supply the schematic I needed, but a whole bunch of other information I had no idea existed. So thank you very much for that. That'll be the next project put up on the bench. Yeah, hey, radio rules again. Thanks, guys. Got off on a little bit of a vector this week on mechanical radio stuff. And for those that aren't aware of it, the military and many commercial stations, 400 words a minute, and the equipment used at KPH and other places for sure were a paper punch, which encoded CW letters onto paper tape, and then the paper tape was read by a what's called a BOHME, B-O-H-M-E, I can't pronounce that correctly, type reader that had variable speed from, I'm not sure what the low end is, but the high end was about 400 words a minute. Pretty impressive stuff, and it's ancient. I mean, these things have been in use for decades. Anyway, I've got a pair of them, the paper punch and an incomplete Bomi reader, muscle reading head. So I kind of got off on that and asking around, seeing if the parts were available, and they sort of are, but not complete, so I'm not sure if I'm going to pursue that much more. I've got my other thing this tangent for you guys in Nevada, is there's a fella in Dayton, not Henry, but another fella by the name of Lawton, I think it is. You guys might know him. Ended up with a truckload of this stuff, and it's looking for a home. So if any of you guys have any interest in this sort of thing, I have the fella's email address. Just drop me an email and I'll pass it on to you. So we'll send it on down to Mike, W7MS, W6SSP.
Well, thank you, Steve. W6SSP, W7MS, Mike in Reno. Yeah, regarding your project and Mr. John Lawson, yeah, he's well known and known by all of us, at least Chuck, myself, and Henry. And Mr. John McGrath here in northern Nevada. So congratulations on your discovery of John. He's been a great resource for a lot of esoteric stuff for us guys. So good on you and good on the project, Steve. So again, W7MS Mike in Reno this morning, and I'm watching the scope. I think it's really easy to over-modulate this guy, and I'll get into specifics, but running the Royal Canadian Air Force twins here, the AR-6 receiver, 1942 build year from the RCA Victory Company Limited, and the transmitter Model AT-7, 1943 build year from Canadian Marconi. And using the electric microphone, which gives me good audio, but this flash up, of course, is screen modulated, an 807, providing the audio to the 807 or 807 final, let's say. And I've got so much audio coming out of this electret that if I close talk it, it basically, the scope pattern turns me into a fairly reasonably looking square wave. So I've got to, for the first time in history, I have to back off of a pseudo carbon microphone to hopefully, yes, not over-modulate. So that's the setup here. Officially 28 degrees this morning on the weather station, Chuck, so about 7 degrees warmer than it was yesterday morning. So I guess the overcast skies have kept things a little warmer here in northern Nevada. So not a bad day. We'll see what develops sun-wise. And great signals from everybody to this point, despite some of the seasonal noise generation, but everybody's doing well. So, good morning to you, Ron. What's the latest and greatest? NU6F W7MS.
Okay, good deal, gang. Well, really good copy on everybody. I'm surprised. Even copied Bill, about 90%. I got the update on your blood pressure, and your blood pressure is probably high because your wristwatch blood pressure machine is sensitive to the RF from the ASU. There you go. There's my medical opinion for today. Okay, good deal, guys. I'm using the PRC 174 this morning. I thought, you know what? I hadn't used that for a while. So it's got the downward modulating AM. So when I'm not talking, with the amp, we're sitting at 200 watts, and when I am talking, we're down to almost nothing. But yeah, as long as you turn the speaker backwards, I guess it sounds the same at your end. And okay, on the new ART-13, the weather. Whereas it's shirt sleeve weather for Dave, working outside, polishing up the antennas. On this end, yeah, the shirt sleeve weather's kind of gone. And good deal on Steve, on your finds for the tempo strike, and John Lawson's high-speed CW. Yeah, you know, I never did. I've heard you guys talk about it before, but I never did read up on any of that. So, not sure what years that was being used. And Mike, I see you're filling in the Canadian Marconi connection while Henry is missing in action this morning. But okay, holding up your portion of the K0DWC Marconi legacy. And yeah, here everyone's only going to be bored if I tell you what I'm doing. So yeah, I won't give you too many more details. But working on refined tuned loop antennas, phasing a couple tuned loops, and well, I'm really pleased with the latest package. I couldn't get the Q really good, and I wanted to get these loops going for both 474 kc and switchable to have it work down at 136 kc. Hold on, switch fingers. Oh yeah, the H250 push-to-talk spring is pretty tight. But anyhow, I was kind of frustrated, couldn't get the Q right or the matching right. And then I had an epiphany, and it really worked pretty good. So I rewound my hula hoop looking kind of affairs. I've got two of them now, about 300 microhenries, and at the center tap, I went ahead at the center of the turns, I went ahead and I cut it and brought those out. So I have a remote, and then tuned it as a parallel tune. I got that remote switchable, and anyhow, I got a nice low impedance output, and the Q is excellent. Not too sharp, but enough to where you can tune it in. And yeah, my first low frequency reception was LF up in Oregon, and yeah, I'm kind of surprised. I mean, there's noise I have here, but really not gosh awful bad. So I'm kind of always surprised at what's going on down that low. All right, anyhow, with that, I'll pass it up to back up to Chuck, and I'll leave a little pregnant pause for Henry, who may be lurking around. And you success.
WA7YBS lurking around. KB0W, Kilo Bravo Zero Whiskey.
Okay, Henry, I knew you were probably there. That's great. I hope you got a weather report for us. But WA7YBS, go ahead and you're number 6, and you can send it back up to me, K0DWC. WA7YBS, go ahead and take it. Go ahead, Henry.
Yeah, Frank's in there too, so I'll pass it to Frank, KB0W. And well, good morning to all. I started off with Bill, and I mean, as far as hearing, I got to do a little bit of tweaking and peeking here. Just a second while I talk and tweak, and get things to a null. And it's good getting there, so be patient. Okay, that's fine. And all right, okay. Well, good morning to Chuck and Bill, Dave, Steve, Mike, Ron, Frank, and yeah, that high-speed boom, they used that in World War II with those RDM diversity, triple diversity receivers that RCA made. It was a bunch of AR-88s, 3 of them, in triple diversity. And that was it. If the Navy was running them, they were DR-89s if somebody else was doing it. But from what I understand, there used to be, and this is a long time ago, but there used to be on the internet, there was a video of that running, you know, so they are pretty cool. And but I think the major use of it was probably in the late 30s and through World War II. So anyway, that was interesting stuff. And the interesting thing was, this is what John gave me a call about that, and to come over and look at it on his trailer. And John only lives about a mile away, and it was so I couldn't go. My 88-year-old cousin was coming, so I had to hang around for that. So I couldn't go over and look, and so that and I guess it's gone into storage now. So anyway, at least I think so. And so let's see. Let's do the normal stuff here, and that is and Ron, I am holding up the British contingent of the military gear. I'm using the Racal RA-17L, the Royal Army version, and receiver, and then the transmitter is the Collins 32V3, and the antenna is a collinear array, and we're using a D104 direct, no amplifier or anything. It goes right to the grid of the speech amplifier in the not the KWS one, the 32V3. Okay, and yeah, it's cloudy here. I think it was 36, I think was the temperature this morning. So yeah, it's a lot warmer than yesterday morning. And with that, let me turn it over to Frank, KB0W. And then it goes to Chuck unless somebody else breaks in. So Frank, KB0W, go ahead, WA7YBS.
Yeah, good morning, Henry, and thank you for turning it over. And good morning, Chuck, and thank you very much for taking the net this morning. The same goes to Bill, Dave, Steve, Mike, Ron, and gosh, the signals are all very loud this morning. I thought Mike was doing the best between 25 and 35 over, and then Henry, you're doing just about the same. So nice strong signals from everybody. And let's see, I'm running the same old here, the W6MIT restored Johnson 500, about 325 watts, and listening this morning on a Collins 32V3 and talking into an old-fashioned aesthetic, a real one, Nighthawk, a really pretty one. Something that I actually bought retail a long time ago, and I'm finally using it. Anyways, about 36 degrees here. It's been a very, very unseasonable fall so far. The ski areas are probably just crying their brains out because everyone is supposed to be skiing tomorrow. Here at Heavenly, I'm not sure if they're really going to open anything up, but hopefully it'll start snowing sometime this winter and we won't have a hellacious fire season. But anyways, it's hard to predict the weather. So very cool on the paper tape code reader. I'd love to see one of those things in operation. There's a CW contest this weekend, so I'm not on the air, but did a little bit of CW work earlier this week on my usual 40 meters, and met up with a couple of Central American stations, which was pretty nice. Anyways, that's about all we have to sell here. Good morning to everybody. This may be my one and done here, not sure, but I'll be listening for a little while longer. So I'll be turning it over to Chuck. Thanks again, Chuck, for running the net, and here you go. W0DWC in Dayton. This is KB0W in South Lake Tahoe.
Okay, Frank, KB0W, K0DWC. Okay, Henry, thanks for picking Frank up. I flat missed him. I guess it was just the timing of it, because he's got a wonderful signal in here this morning. But did want to say good morning to you again, Henry, and good morning to Frank. So great signals all the way around. So let me see real quick if there's anybody else that wants to check in now. Be number 8. You can come now. Wonder where Vern's at. Well, anyway, okay. Well, Henry, thanks for the weather report. 36, that's higher than I thought it was going to be, but it wasn't bad out back when I went and fed the horses this morning, like I was telling Mike. And Mike, yeah, you're right. John Lawson is he's a good guy, and he's a good source for a lot of different things, and he finds a lot of stuff. You know, just good all the way around. I dealt with him before a couple of years back. I was getting rid of my teletype stuff, and ended up trading the teletype stuff for some 813 tubes. And he was tickled, and I was tickled, and I don't know if John's doing any of the teletype stuff anymore. I know for a long time he had all that stuff, and for the last 2 or 3 years he's been showing them all at Brad's, as all of us know, running and everything. And but I don't know if he's kept anything like that for himself, because I know there was a fellow that bought a lot of it, I believe, from him. But yeah, he was probably, I don't know, I think I might be just a tad closer than Henry is. I think I'm probably half a mile from him, but because he's just out back. But yeah, Henry and I are real close to where John lives. So that's always a good thing, because like I said, he's a good guy, and you know, he's got pretty smart guy too. He's got some good stuff, good parts, and it's real helpful to a lot of people. So hats off to him. So anyway, okay, well, let me make one more call out, and we'll go to the top again. Is there a number 8 out there for the Vintage Military Radio Net? You can come now.
K6LBP.
There's somebody in there.
Yeah, I know. I had to listen a second time. There's somebody in there, but there's no audio. I think his call is K6LVT, from what I heard.
K6LBP, Lima Bravo Papa.
Okay, K6LVT, copy you. You're not too loud, but go ahead and make a transmission and give us your name and your location. K6LVT, this is K0DWC Net Control for the Vintage Military Radio Net. So go ahead and take it. K6LVT, go ahead.
Yes, sir. Kilo 6 Lima Bravo Papa, and I'm doing all I can for power. I will send an email to one of you gentlemen. I've been listening here for a little bit, and I've got a radio that someone may be interested in. So I will send an email to one of you gentlemen. I think and give you some information.
Okay, redirect on the call sign. K6 Lima Bravo Papa, I believe is what you said. I didn't get your name though. Can you give us your name again, please?
Yes, sir. My name is Jimmy, Jimmy, referred to most commonly as JR.
Okay, Jim. JR, I'll call you JR. Okay. All right, JR. What is your location again?
I'm in Pollock Pines, California. Pollock Pines, California.
Oh, okay, copy. Pollock Pines, California. Okay, very good. All right. Stand by. I've got you in the good spot. If you have some questions, we can you can go ahead, if you want to go ahead and make a transmission now. I believe you were asking for some information on a receiver that you had. What is the receiver exactly?
I've got a John Meck radio. I can't remember the model, 8061 possibly. And I'm not going to be using it, but I think it's a sought after piece. Apparently the Meck company only made this radio 1 year, 1946. USL?
Yeah, copy that. Okay, I don't know anything about it, but there might be some gentlemen on the net here that probably do know. So what we're going to do is we'll be going around in a round table, and I'll let them comment on that if they know anything. So stand by, JR, K6LBP in the number 8 spot. Okay, is there a number 9 spot? It's open. Would you anybody like to check in? Okay, nothing heard. So with that, we'll go back up to the top, and I guess you heard him, guys. He's wanting to know some information on a radio, which I don't know anything about, but if you want to comment, that's great. So we'll send it up the bill. N6 Bravo Charlie Tango in the number 1 spot. Go ahead.
N6 Bravo Charlie Tango. I'm not familiar with that. Anyway, and on the net, and I haven't got much more to add. But I thought you said something about the qualifying in his transmission, but I'm not sure. He's doing probably all far as that's concerned. Anyway, so that's the story here. So it's over the W6MQI on 6 Bravo Charlie Tango.
All right, Bill. This is W6MQI, and good morning to Henry and Frank, and I'm here just barely hearing JR up there in Pollock Pines, and I couldn't quite copy what kind of receiver he was talking about. He faded out, and so don't know nothing about that one. But let's see. Yeah, Steve, I think it's the same high-speed unit, but I know you got some high CW units for the like the PRC 174 and the TRC 77 and such. I've heard of those. I thought maybe they were using those out in the field too, but it doesn't sound like this unit you got is field portable. But I don't know. I'll have to look that up. And hey, Mike, your AT7 sounding good. You know, last night you probably didn't realize on that round table, but other stations weren't mentioning it. But towards the end there, I was hearing some weird artifacts on your audio. The other stations weren't mentioning it, but it's hard to explain. I don't think it was RF, but some sort of it's kind of a weird watery sort of sound on your audio. I don't remember what kind of radio you were using, but just a footnote there. At first I thought it was on my end, but I wasn't hearing it on the other stations, just on you. And Ron, the PRC 74 sounded good. You were fading out a couple times there, but solid copy. And I was going to ask you if you were still doing the 630 meters. I guess I understand you have some issues with a local AM broadcast station there. I was looking at my setup here, and I could probably do a pretty quick, modification to my inverted L. Like I said, I have to feed it backwards to do this. But I think I could pull it off. Just kind of figure out a way to, and I think I do have a way of getting the wire through the wall without starting a fire. I don't know how much voltage and current or whatever is on the end of that wire, but I don't want that wire going through the wall and starting something on fire. So I've got an idea how I'm going to do that. If I can do that, I wouldn't mind trying it. I don't even know if that low frequency unit in my ART13 even works. I guess I'll find out real quick. And Frank, I was going to ask you last week, if you're still around, what kind of an aircraft you have. I used to fly about, like I was thinking about it, about 35 years ago. I used to fly a little bit of helicopters, Schweitzer 300s, R-22s, and I had some Bell 206 time in there as well. But I don't think they'll be flying anymore. My reaction times aren't like they used to be. But I noticed you had said you were going down to Minden, probably do your required 3 takeoffs and 3 landings. What is it, every 30 or 60 days or something? I don't remember now, to stay current. And what else? I know I was going to mention something else, but anyway. Oh, hey Henry, I know you run ladder line. Do you use any kind of static bleed-offs, like some resistors or inductors off each leg of your ladder line? Just curious about that. So, anyway, over to Steve. W6SSP, W6MQ.
Okay, Dave. Yeah, very good. Yeah, the conditions are still holding up pretty good. Sorry I butchered your call, LVP. You're right at my noise floor, and I couldn't hear what rare receiver you were asking about, so if anybody heard that, please pass it on, and might be able to help. Got quite a few receivers here. As I'm sure other people here do as well. Let's see, I also wanted to mention on the, talking about the high-speed CW stuff, I was talking with Richard via email the other day about it, and he's an expert on this stuff. It's W6AWO is no doubt in a rare spot listening to us right now. Good morning, Richard, if you are. And he was also telling me about the Eagle, which I've seen them, but I've never seen any of this stuff in operation. And I could just imagine the way these anchors operate. If you're sending at 300 or 400 words a minute, paper tape must be blasting through that anchor. And probably ends up with a big pile of paper tape on the floor. And I feel sorry for the probably rows and rows of women that transcribe that CW that's on paper tape via typewriters. Anyway, that must have been an interesting process, and back in the day, I would have loved to have seen that. Pretty interesting stuff, in my opinion. And on another note, my buddy here, Justin, KW6SEA, built his very first homebrew tube project, which is a 6AQ5 crystal-controlled transmitter. Well working. Took a little bit of fooling around with it, and apparently it's still emitting, but he did get it going. He's pretty excited about it, so maybe this will get him off on the many years of fooling around with tube stuff and building things, which is pretty cool, I think, still. He's in his 30s now, so hopefully he'll be able to do that for a very long time. So we'll send it on to Mike, W7MS, W6SSP.
Okay, well, thanks, Steve. W6SSP, W7MS. Well, good reception from all except for the station at Pollock Pines, so I'm going to defer. Hopefully Henry got the information, because I'm sure he'll be able to provide some comments, but insufficient recovered audio, that would be my technical description. But good morning to he, and welcome to the net. And comments, yeah, Dave, appreciate the comments, and I wonder if that correlates with my W2AU Ballon that's hanging out there with my 75-meter dipole. It has nuances of failing lead-free solder connections. I came to that conclusion in the past week. It's extremely intermittent, but that may have explained the weirdness that you were hearing, because from the front of the HF380 and in the various indicating devices, it was doing fine, but I appreciate that because it's all a matter of motivation of dropping the leg of the antenna down and possibly cracking some PVC for an inspection, but I know it's a relatively common issue with those W2AU balance when they made the conversion to lead-free solder. Not an unusual circumstance, but if you go up on the EHAM reviews of that balun, there are just a ton of people that are pissed off, and I came to the conclusion it probably correlated to lead-free solder. Not to mention the other ones I got in the free pile at Hammond High 5 that people had already busted open, so I got to see a prime example of how not to manipulate lead-free solder. It's yikes! What a there is a reason why it's not used in military, medical equipment, or satellites. It's certified POS method to be to eliminate lead from the environment. But enough of my dissertation on that. But good signals from all. Fine on the high-speed CW. I was flashing back to maybe high school, where a friend of mine had bits and pieces of that equipment, and it was all, ooh, look what they did in the olden days. And of course, that would be in the late 1960s. And if you think back in time, as we've all gotten older, that was just a mere couple of years in the past. But it's all relative to age and where you are, and that ties into Justin and congratulations on the CW rig. I think that's good news. And in the meantime, good morning to Henry. Good morning to Frank. And life is good. Projects here, not a heck of a lot, but Trevor got to exercise the station yesterday. Worked some DX. Worked a nice station down in Brazil on 40 meters. I think 7180 with 100 watts and a quarter wave on 40 meters. So that was fun. He was doing quite well. As I said to him, here are the keys to the car. I'm not a helicopter parent. I'm going to go do something else. Just don't break anything. So that was okay. So with that, over to Ron, NU6F W7MS.
Okay. Well, still pretty good copy on most. Bill and Steve both kind of faded into the noise most of the time. But I did catch Steve came up a couple of times, so I did copy that about Justin and the 6AQ5 rig. Good deal. And yeah, like you're saying, Steve, I can just imagine what that paper tape was looking like. Yeah, I have to, like you say, Henry, I'll have to look and see if there's a YouTube video somewhere showing that stuff in action. It'd be kind of cool. Let's see. Oh, I had and speaking about a helicopter parent, Mike. Yeah, I didn't know that about Dave. That you were a helicopter pilot in a past life. So that's quite the deal. No wonder you're ambidextrous. You could be working with doing stuff with both hands. When about most of us are not able to do anything but pick our nose with our other finger. And let's see, speaking of which, and Frank, I guess you're already signed. So, and I didn't realize that the Viking was one of John's restoration MIT rigs. So hold on, let me switch hands again. Man, I'll tell you, the spring in this handset is really something. I need to get a workout. But, yeah, Dave, yeah, that's right. I remember you were saying you'd have to feed it backwards because you had the vertical portion was the other side. But, I don't know. I guess you could probably try it and see. But, yeah, it's, I don't know how that would work. The vertical portion is where you get to shove all the current. But being such a short antenna for the wavelength, I guess if you can get RF to the horizontal end, I guess it would work. grounds are the big deal. And I still have no idea why it is my grounds here are so good. I mean, some of the other guys on 630 meters that asked me, saying that for my 200 watts, which isn't great, which isn't a lot for, for an antenna mission, but no, it does really, really, really well. I tried doing the two-way spot QSO last night with N04M back in Pennsylvania, but yeah, he was hearing me pretty good. Then an hour later, I was hearing him. Of course, that was still only on digital. Nothing carrier levels were nowhere good enough for CW. They really haven't been for a couple of years now, unless you're within 1,000 miles. That's about as far as you can work on CW, where conditions are nowadays. But yeah, let's see. And Mike, okay, on having to eyeball, having to back off from the mic, look at the square waves. Well, it doesn't seem to make too much difference at the receive ends. Why, everything, or for our old ears, everything sounds like a square wave. Not about a hyper-delta left. At least not in my hearing. And I guess with that, I'll pass it on over to Henry. WA7YBS, and you success.
Okay, Ron. NU6F WA7YBS. Looking at the gauges, everything looks okay. Well, morning to JR. J6LBT. They're in Pollock Pines. Yeah, he has a John Mack 8061. And I don't know what it is, but John Mack, his claim to fame was that he owned, or was the last owner of the E.H. Scott Radio Laboratories. And when Scott bowed out of that company, it was in 1947, the people that ran Ernie Scott out of the company who didn't know how to run it. And so it kind of went belly up real quick, and John Mack bought it. And that was probably around 1949 or so. And so that's Mack's claim to fame, as he was the last owner of Scott Radio Laboratories. It was kind of interesting about Scott. During World War II, he was down in New Zealand. He was from New Zealand. He went down to New Zealand and was doing some testing down there, radio testing. And unfortunately, they left him alone too much. And he would sit in his room and ponder and think about what was the future of radio with television coming on. And then when he got back to Scott Radio Laboratories, he found out that he had sold so much of his stock that he wasn't the major owner, major shareholder in the company, and the powers that be had demoted him to manager in charge of sales, I think it was. Anyway, he was a little bit livid about it, quit immediately. The next day took out a 2-page ad in the Chicago Tribune, just telling everybody what he thought of the new Scott Radio Company. And that was, 47 or so that happened, 47, maybe 48. And so anyway, the upshot of it was the company was ruined by the new management. And, John Mack was able to purchase Scott Radio Laboratories rather reasonably. Now, I don't know if that 8061 that JR has is a Scott. John Mack Scott, I don't think so. I think it's one of the other companies that Mack bought. And that was what his claim to fame for John Mack was, that he would go in and buy companies that were, faltering and stuff, and then he'd pretty much get as much as he could out of them, and then he'd sell them, or they'd go bankrupt, one of the two. So anyway, that's the deal on John Mech. And Dave, on the ladder line, what I do is if I'm not using the antenna, it's grounded. I always have the ladder line grounded at the where it comes into the, just before it comes into the antenna coupling, the tuner, And so I always keep it grounded if I'm not using it. And yeah, we get some pretty stiff winds up here, and the collinear array being 230 feet of wire up in the air, it gets a pretty good healthy static charge on it. And if I don't have it grounded, look out. So a lot of these receivers anyway will have static drains on them, like the R388s and stuff like that. They'll have a neon bulb inside there that, about 90 volts or so it fires, and hopefully bleeds off the static charge. And even the old wireless gear used to have spark gaps on the receivers there that would fire whenever the antenna static charge got to be too high. But anyway, that's what I do. I just ground them if I'm not using them. And let's see, not too much else here. I am rebuilding putting it all back together. I took it all apart, and I mean all apart, and I put it all back together yesterday. But it's the power supply for my Federal Telegraph receiver, the R100, and that's a TRF, a TRF receiver with tracking FO. It's from just before World War II, about 1938, 39, somewhere in there, and with and it's typical marine receiver. It tunes from about 90 kilocycles up to 1,500 kilocycles. So I want to get that running here, since December is peak long wave receiving month. Not that there's much to listen on anymore, but compared to what it was 20 years ago, when it was brimming with a lot of activity, what's on long wave these days is pretty much indecipherable, and at least with your ears and brain. So with that, I don't know if Frank is still there, but let's give him a try. And if Frank picks it up, that's good. And if he doesn't, JR is out there, KB6LBP. And JR, that last transmission that he was making, talking about the Mech, he was about S4, S5, and Q5. There's no problem copying them, but not real strong. But that's okay. So let's try Frank first, KB0W, and if Frank doesn't pick it up, it goes to JR. And so KB0W, WA7YBS.
Okay, thank you, Henry. KB0W in South Lake Tahoe, and noise level here with my dipole antenna next to the high voltage power line, which isn't a real good idea, but that's functionally the only way you can do it up here with the topography and the way the trees are oriented. So anyways, Henry, you're still really loud, and Mike's still really loud, but with the noise level coming up and the signals coming down, it's sort of hard hearing everybody else. But Henry, interesting on the Mech and the radio labs. I didn't know anything about that. The signal, the station in Pollock Pines, can't hear them at all. K6, I think it's K6 LVP as in Papa, JR, but I'll look them up in QRZ afterwards. My only issue this week, I guess it's a project issue. I got my my plane in for its annual inspection, and they found a leaky gasket in the right wing gas tank. So That's going to take me out of service for probably an extra 2 weeks on top of the annual inspection, which is going to be probably 3 weeks. So I'm pretty much grounded here in this beautiful flying weather. Boy, it's been just absolutely terrific, just really smooth air. When it gets real rough up there, especially when you're flying down here in the weather, in the atmosphere, you feel like a bug in a jar that somebody's shaking, and it's so nice to have smooth air. Anyways, my partner here, Susan, she's not feeling well, so I'm going to bail out and say so long and 73 to everybody. Chuck, thanks for running the net, and I'll be try and be on next week. Okay, I'm going to turn it over to the Pollock Pine Station. I think it's K6LVP. This is KB0W in South Lake Tahoe.
Okay, this is K6LVP. Thank you very much. And I sent an email to Henry. I sent an email to Henry. And if any of you are interested in this radio, please feel free to contact me. K6LVP, I'll turn it back over to net control.
Yeah, I turned it back to you there. Chuck, go ahead.
Okay, Henry, I lost him. He was really down here this time. When I first got a hold of him, he was Q5 copy, but I just heard little bits here and there on it, so thanks for picking him up, Henry. All right, K6 Lima Bravo, B as in Bravo, P as in Papa, is JR's call sign. K6 Lima Bravo Papa. Okay, well, JR, if you can hear me, I do want to welcome you to the Venice Military Radio Net. We're here every we're here every Sunday morning, and we start around 7 o'clock. Sometimes it's a little earlier, sometimes it's a little later. But we're here every Sunday, so you're more than welcome to check in when you can. We'd love to have you. So, okay, guys, let's see. We got to do the, I want to say 7-3s to Frank, too. Frank, I hope your partner there feels better. I know what that's like. Carla's a little bit under the weather here today, too. She's not sick, just, you know, it's a Sunday morning, you know. It's one of them deals. So anyway, okay, guys, well, we're going to do the 73 round now, and we'll go ahead and go back up to the top to N6 BCT to Bill. So, Bill, go ahead and take it. This is 7-3 round. Go ahead.
N6 Bravo, Bravo, Bravo. I think it was BB, but I'm not sure. Anyway, so that's the story here. Otherwise, everything went fine, and it's great to have a guy. All the guys came on. And most of that practice 20%. And went at the first round under the flag for sure. Anyway, so that's the story here. So it's over the NW6 MQI N6 Bravo 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 23 from N6 BCC.
All right, Bill, see you later. This is W6MQI. And the air conditions are starting to fade a little bit. And Henry, thanks for the information on your antenna. Yeah, one time I was coming back from Scottsdale, Arizona, and I was going through a sandstorm. I had a 2-meter rig with me, and I had the fork on at least. Look, I disconnected the coax from it and laid it down. And it was down underneath the seat of my my truck. And I'm driving along, you know, and I kept hearing this tick, tick, tick noise. What? You know, it was really loud. What the heck? And so I pulled over, and the coax, the PL259, was about, I don't know, 3/4 of an inch away from the frame of the seat. and it was arcing from the static electricity from the sand going by, you know, the antenna charging it up. Holy crap, that was amazing. To jump about 3/4 of an inch, there was one hell of a charge on there. That would have definitely done some damage to the radio. Good thing I had disconnected it. Yeah, W2AU balance. I fried mine, so I didn't know that was a known problem with solder. Mine was from the 70s. You'd think it would still have the lead solder. That's it. I actually cracked the ferrite, or the core, not the ferrite, the iron core. I think it was iron core in mine, but took it all apart. Of course, you have to destroy the PVC. Took it all apart and re-put it back together, and hung it back up. But I don't have it up there. I don't have it up there anymore. But yeah, I had no idea those W2U balance were prone to failure. And what else here? I think that's it. I wonder if the GRC19 setup, if they ever use any high-speed CW on those. I don't know how those, if that transmitter, how it keys CW. I've never been around one using it on CW or heard anybody use one on CW. But I don't know if it's got a relay that it clicks, or if it can even go that fast. I don't know. But I wonder if they ever did that with a GRC19 setup. Anyway, 73 everybody, and talk to you guys next week. Over to Steve, W6SSP, W6MQI.
Okay, Dave. Yeah, conditions are fading a little bit, but still Q5 for most people. Yeah, very good on the stop electricity. Wow, that must have been something else. Of course, in the Gulf War, apparently the first one especially, the blowing sand blew out their solid-state radios, and I think we all know the story about that, where there was a big rush to get some R390s, 390As back in service, but the war ended before that actually happened. Anyway, very interesting stuff. Let's see, projects here. I'm finishing off the second burnout clock. First one took 3 weeks, but that was because of prototyping and finding materials for the case and stuff like that. But this one's only taken a week. It's almost done. I've got to assemble the case today. It's already pre-drilled. So I'll get that done. And after that, I've been thinking about digging out some teletype projects. Been in sort of a mechanical mood here lately, and first thing I'm going to do is build another circuit I came up with many years ago that allows you to store messages in a ROM, and I'd originally built it as a test jig to send out accurate 22 millisecond pulses, which is what the pulse width is on Robert Fabrado at 60 words a minute. And then decide, well, gee, I can store other messages in the ROM too. So things like QTH and what we used to call brag tapes back in the day. So rather than doing paper tape, I can do it digitally now. Anyway, I think I'm going to build up another one of those, standalone with a loop supply built in. Mount that in a nice box, and then use that to tackle the teletype 2B, and I have a 14RO, which is a real RO. Most 14s you'd see these days have keyboard attached to them, but this one never did, and never had provisions to add a keyboard to it, so I've never seen another one like it. Anyway, both are kind of rusty and need a fair amount of work, so that'll be a fun thing to do on a winter day. So guys, 73, and we'll see you over tonight. We'll see you all next weekend. W7MS, W6SSP.
Well, okay, Steve. W6SSP, W7MS. We'll still get a reception from all except the station in Pollock Pines, but that's the general consensus. But hopefully they'll be back in better conditions. But fine on all. Everybody's keeping busy. Yeah, the clarification on this version of the balun, it's the current balun that just uses the piece of miniature coax, and they stack the ferrite beads on it. And so there's not really much that can go wrong besides the solder connections at the top and bottom of the coax. But Dave, having viewed the examples that were already busted open in the pile of freebie stuff, it was pretty, looked like first day on the job solder work. But I think the conversion would be, if you want to do any business in the European Union in general, you've got to use lead-free solder. It's just, it's the way it is, the way of business these days. But it has been for quite some time now. But great for Henry's dissertation on a old-time investment banker who it sounded like would buy companies, make money, sell them or gut them, and run off. And it's kind of ironic that he maybe got caught in his own trap in the world of business, maybe due to some age-related issues, and possibly maybe the other folks on the board of directors had some animosity, and it was their chance to break out the knives and finish him off. But too bad, so sad. And what can you say? But thanks for the comments. Listen to myself on wavelength radio, and I'm surprised how good this 7 watts of screen modulation to the 30S1. But of course, it's all because of that magic electric microphone element from our G-Tel in Texas. But 7-3s from Reno. Everybody have a great day. As will I. It's not a bad one today. So over to you, Ron, and I'm glad you're keeping busy. And U6F W7MS.
Okay, good deal, guys. That's one good thing about this the spring in this H250 handset. It keeps me from timing out 75 meters too much. And okay, Mike, on lead-free solder. Gosh, what a disaster! I can't think of hardly anything I've seen that, like you say, after X number of years, it gets bad or worse. But all in the interest of, supposedly in the interest of our environment. Yeah, a little bit of lead isn't going to hurt me one way or the other, I don't think. Well, I had, let's see, Henry on the saga of Scott Radio, and the radio robber barons of the time. Boy, there's always been some ruthless types around. I had to switch hands. All right, guys, I better not hold it because I just say signals are fading. But interesting, Henry, on the Federal Electric TRF with tracking BFO. I can only imagine the mechanics. But whatever. Somebody said it's got to be TRF, and somebody else said it's got to copy CW, and we're not going to go weekend. So I guess they had to pay the price. And good deal, Steve, on the other binary clock. Mixing of technologies. Thanks, Chuck, for writing herd on everybody. And with that, take it away, Henry.
Okay, Ron. Very good. And that federal telephone receiver there, that Coast Guard receiver, the interesting thing about that, besides being a TRF with a tracking BFO, is it's entirely built on a nickel-plated brass chassis, and then all of the sheet metal parts, the panel, front panel, and everything is brass. And of course, the front panel is black wrinkle finish paint over brass. And so where they had the engraved nomenclature on the front panel, they used to wrinkle finish the panels, and then they would engrave them, and the nomenclature would stand out because generally it was aluminum or something like that, that they were doing. Through nice silver. Well, you do brass, and it shows through kind of a gold color until the brass tarnishes, and then can hardly read the nomenclature at all. So that was kind of a little bit of an oddity on the R100. Nice receiver, very, very stoutly built. And so anyway, we'll say C3. Oh yeah, the mech deal there, and poor old Ernest Humphrey Scott. And yeah, the guys at the company, I guess they didn't like him very much. So, and I guess the feeling was mutual. If you were a person that took the Chicago, I think it was the Chicago Tribune, or it might have been the Chicago Sun-Times. It was one of those Chicago newspapers anyway, that he took out the full pages ad, just telling everybody in Chicago what he thought of the new guys that are running the company. So anyway, and I copied JR there. I did copy you that you sent me an email. I'll take a look at it and see what's what. And with that, I'll turn it over to you and see if you're still copying. And so K6, Lima Bravo Papa. This is WA7YBS. Go ahead.
WA7YBS, K6LBC, guys of the group. Conditions are changing. I'm sure I'm out of here, but I will be back. I look forward to hearing from you, Frank. With that, K6LBC, back over to
Okay, Chuck. Hey, I probably turned it over to you. I could only do the carrier. I couldn't really copy or recover any audio, but with the BFO on, I could tell when he stopped transmitting. So over to you, Chuck. K0DWC, WA7YBS.
Okay, Henry, thanks for that. Yeah, I didn't even hear him this time, and I had the R388 on. I couldn't dig anything out. Okay, well, anyway, all right, well, there was 8 of us today, 9 counting me, and good net this morning with a new check-in. That's always a good thing. And I guess Carla's supposed to be net control next weekend. You will be? Okay, she's hollered in the background and told me that she will be net control next weekend. By the way, which is Pearl Harbor Remembrance Day, December 7th. So she's hollering in the background in the kitchen. You know how that goes, women. All right, guys. Thanks for being there, and we appreciate the support as always. So this is K0DWC, and I'll be securing the Vintage Military Radio Net for today, and would like to thank everybody for their participation, and invite everyone back next Sunday morning. So with that, I'll turn the frequency back over to regular use. Guys, have a good, safe day and a good, safe week ahead, and we'll talk to you next Sunday. So with that, I'll say my 7 threes, and this is K0DWC signing off. 7 threes again, guys.
W7TSM. I just caught the tail end of your guys' net. It's nice to hear you guys. It's fun to watch my dad operate all his very interesting collection of military equipment.
Well, thank you, Trevor, for the commentary, and good morning to Carla. As usual, excellent modulation from the kitchen, W7MS.
Carla said, thanks for the report, Mike. Was that Trevor?
Hello again.
I just caught the tail end of your call sign when I'm working receivers, and I'm not close to one of them, and that's the one that I'm working. So, well, Trevor, it's good to hear you. Glad that you're there with your dad, and I'm going to put you down in the number 9 spot, W7TSM. So, how have you been, and how long are you staying with your daddy?
Well, I've been doing pretty good. I drove down here, I want to say, on Wednesday, and I'm going to actually take off today. So we had Thanksgiving the other day, and yesterday was actually Mike's 72nd birthday, so I took him.
Oh shit!
I took him to the Cracker Barrel. He'd never been to a Cracker Barrel, so he got a kick out of that. And he decided to give me some culture, and we walked over to the art museum, so that was cool. So I've enjoyed my time here. It's always nice to be here, and I'm looking forward to an exciting 7-hour drive back to Eugene, Oregon here within a couple hours probably. Back to you.
Okay, well, you sound like a busy man, Trevor. And happy birthday to your daddy. That was nice of you to take him out to eat. That's a good deal there. How's your sister doing?
Oh, she's doing good. She came over last night with her boyfriend, John, and we caught up. I haven't seen her in quite a while, too, so they're doing good. She's busy in the real estate business, and John is busy in IT, which is also sort of kind of what I do. I do a little bit of IT and wireless infrastructure for a small business.
Oh, okay. Excellent. All right. Well, tell her we said hey, because last time I saw you and your sister, it was at your old house, and you all were about 6 years old, and you're sitting there eating cereal. You know, you were just a little tyke. So if I ran into you today, I probably wouldn't recognize you. But anyway, it sounds like you're doing good, and that's always a good thing. And your dad's a pretty swell guy on top of that. So you're doing good all the way around. But make sure you say hello to Emily for us, if you would.
Yeah, he relayed. He said yes, and I'll do the same. And for me as a dad, it's just a miracle. My 30-year-old son actually got off the couch and made some coffee, and he blundered into Studio B and commented, "Oh, you guys get on at 7?" So at least he made it for the 73 round. But thanks, Chuck, and I'll let you carry on because I got a feeling breakfast is on the table. W7MS.
All right, Mike, have a good day and enjoy Trevor, and we'll talk to you next Sunday. This is K0DWC, off and clear.